Hi, and welcome back to episode 15 of Pilates Flows at Atlantis, a series where I will demonstrate and give you the tools to do the sequences I post on Instagram. Now let's get started. Episode, we'll be doing a low body sequence with the pinnacle move being the pistol squat. Now we'll actually start out doing the pistol squat on the reformer first, then we'll have two other exercises that are meant to help assist into that pistol squat. The first one helping with the mobility of the knee, hip, and ankle joint, and the second one working on building our glute strength. Now let's get the reformer set up.
To get set up for the pistol squat, first put on either one blue or one red spring, then lower the foot bar all the way down. Carefully step up onto the deck facing the top of the reformer. First bring one set of toes to the bottom edge of the carriage. Keep that leg completely straight as you bend your opposite knee, lowering your hips into a squat. Then to come back up, press down through your deck heel, squeeze your glute, and try to keep your chest lifted as you rise. If you find you're getting stuck in the bottom position, try going to one red spring for the assisted push from the carriage to rise back up. To set up for our second move, carefully step off the reformer, raise the foot bar, and put on at least two reds and a blue spring. Step up onto the reformer facing the foot bar. With your inside foot to the edge of the carriage, your outside leg should hang off the edge. Carefully bend your carriage knee. As you lower down, try to reach with your foot to tap the floor. During the move, keep your chest as lifted as possible. We're trying to bend our ankle, knee, and hip as much as we can, working through the joint. For our last move, put on either two reds or one red and one blue to modify. Bring your foot on the floor halfway between the shoulder block and the foot bar. Your opposite foot should be back onto the shoulder block. Brace yourself on the foot bar and carefully press the carriage back as far as you can, squeezing into your glute before bending your knee and bringing the carriage back in.
Alright, and that is it for today's episode. Now, remember, for our first move, our pistol squat, we got set up on the deck facing the top of the reformer. Your heels were on the deck with your toes hanging off the edge, unless you have a deck extender to where you could get your full foot on that wooden deck. Then you had one foot that stayed on the deck, the opposite toes reached and grabbed the bottom edge of the carriage. To perform the move, we bent our deck knee, squatting down as deep as we could, at the same time maintaining a straight opposite leg to press that carriage away. That's going to allow you to get as low as you can into that pistol squat. Maybe you can actually go all the way down, and then you have the assist of that carriage. As long as you keep that opposite leg straight, that carriage is going to assist by pushing you back up to come all the way back up to stand. Remember, you're doing this on one blue or one red. One red is a modified version. That'll help you push back up, but it may prevent you from being able to get as low as you can go. So kind of play around with it some to see what works best for you. Then for our second move, we did our mobility move for the pistol squat. So we got onto the carriage facing the bottom of the reformer. We stood towards one edge with our inside foot at the very edge of the carriage, our outside foot hanging off the edge of the reformer. We kept our chest lifted, and again, we bent our legs standing on the reformer, trying to keep our chest lifted. At the same time, we're keeping the opposite leg straight, trying not to reach with your toes if you can, so that as you came down, you tap that floor with your foot, and then you really press through your reformer leg to help push you all the way back up to stand. You have your foot bar that you can always use, especially as you go down, or that extra little lift to get back up. Then for our third move, we focus really on the glute strength. That's where a lot of the powerhouse of this move comes from, is getting that glute to activate, especially when you're in that lowest position of a pistol squat to push you back up. So we got situated with our foot on the floor, halfway between the shoulder blocks and the foot bar, the opposite foot back onto your shoulder block. You braced yourself on your foot bar and then simply press that carriage back with that carriage leg, and then bend that knee, bringing it back in, maintaining that glute squeeze as you press back, and then release as you came back in. Now, if you enjoyed the video or if you learned something, please leave me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.